No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com where the world plays poker.
Last week, the Republic of Ireland gathered all the chips up against the Russians. A very solid performance by the men in green. Tonight, we see who they will face in their quarterfinal match as the poker table becomes alight with talent in the shape of France. And they are up against Denmark, led by one of the most successful players in the world. Gus Hansen is at the table. Don't move. This will be a classic. It's France against Denmark. In this World Cup year, football and poker have collided. A new, beautiful game is in town with chips as the goal. But the competitiveness and team spirit is just as strong on the pitch as it is on the poker table. Let's have a look at how the draw stands right now. In the quarterfinals, it'll be Germany against Sweden. Then that strong North Ireland side taking on a dominant Holland. And in the bottom half of the draw, it's all to play for here. Who will play the Republic of Ireland? It'll be either France and Denmark. Then those two powerhouse matches heading up in the bottom, USA, Wales, and Canada. Daniel Negreanu versus the great Tony G from Australia. What a game we have in store tonight. A kaleidoscope of talent on display. But will it be fantastique or le bleu for France? Well, we're here with two members from the French side, Captain Claude Cohen and football legend Laurent Charvet. Now, Laurent, what kind of poker experience do you have?
I started to play about 3 years ago, and I play sometimes in Monaco, in Paris, and some tournaments in Morocco. And I'm happy to play with good players, Claude Cohen and Anthony Lelouch.
Claude, you must be quite excited to have Laurent on the French team.
I'm very excited. We can get somebody else, but with no poker experience. I'm very happy we get Laurent.
What is the team spirit like, with the French team? Do you guys feel good?
We feel very good. We're going to beat everybody.
And is there more pressure when you're playing for your country as opposed to yourself?
Yeah, we're trying to do our best anyway.
Well, you're up against a very tough team in Denmark. Let's see who's on the Danish side. So we're here with two members of the Danish team, Captain Gus Hansen and football legend Kim Christofte. Now, Gus, any special strategies for this team tournament? Have you been giving any advice to the players?
Well, we had a little sit down late last night. I mean, Kim asked a couple of questions on how to get around and how to move at the football table, not the football table, at the poker table. And I think we worked out a good strategy. I mean, he's not as experienced, of course, as me and Theo, but I think we'll do some damage today.
You had some big poker brains to pick on there, Kim, last night. But what is your poker experience like?
Oh, it's not much. I've been playing a little online, but never in a live situation, never.
So Gus, at the end of the day, does it have to be every man for himself out there, or
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's an individual sport, but in a team format. So, I mean, our primary goal is for Denmark to win. It's me, Kim, or Theo. Doesn't really matter. When the three of us are left, I'm going to try and beat those guys. but the primary goal is for Denmark to win.
Well, best of luck to Denmark. You guys are going to have a tough match against France. Can't wait to see it. There's also a competition that you can be a part of. Have a look. With the World Cup heading our way and the nations getting into a football frenzy, we want to get you in the football mood with our competition. We have 10 World Cup shirts to give away, thanks to Europe's leading online sports store, kitbag.com. You can select which shirt you'd like from any of the teams competing in the World Cup. From England to Germany to Brazil, you can wear your favorite shirt just by answering the following question. What is each team member starting with 100,000 each in tournament chips, and those chips are split up yellow, blue, and red, 1,000, 2,000, and 5,000. Of course, the team that gets all the chips will be the one progressing to the next round. This match between Denmark and France underway for the chance to play the Republic of Ireland in the quarters. And Parag, what's your prediction?
Well, I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I'm going to go for young Anthony Lelouch. He's come into this side as a sub for Atlas's David Benjamin, but and he really wants to prove that he is the new Benjamin, and I think he's good enough to do it. He's going to be a joy to watch, I promise you that much.
We've got action right away. It is
Raised,
Theo Jorgensen
4,000 total.
limping in for 1,000,
Pass.
and Lelouch has picked up the
Pass.
ace and a little lady beside it and raised it to 4.
Most players wouldn't consider playing this hand, but Gus Hansen is most players. God, we got action in the first hand.
3,000 on Laurent, and if he calls, and I imagine
Call.
Tia will call as well, we're going to be 4-way.
Call.
2 Danes and 2 Frenchmen for this first pot. 16,000 in the kitty already.
Well, I promise you this one was going to be fast, Jesse. Didn't know it was going to be this fast.
It'll be hard for everybody to miss this flop. Very easy to get an action flop.
It could be a bloodbath if you get
Jack,
a particular
8,
type of
9.
flop. No.
It's close to an action flop. 2 couple straight draws out there, and Gus Hansen has a flush draw.
You kind of got a fancy Gus Hansen here, don't you?
Check.
You have to fancy him to get
Check.
the chips in
Check.
first, anyway.
All checked.
And Lelouch checking there, and everyone's
7.
checked around him. That may have been very wise, Parg. That 7 has made a pair for Laurent, and up and down for you. It's
And Hansen
bluffly.
I still fancy Hansen here.
Well, you could see almost any player winning this pot with a good enough bet, Parg.
12,000.
And
Well,
Gus,
that could be the end of the pot now, Jesse. Very hard for anybody to call
Pass. Pass.
now. They might all like to call if they can see Gus's hand.
Pass.
But then
Well,
again,
you talk about the magic of Gus Hansen, Parg, and that's how he does it. You can play any 2 cards if you're willing to take it away with the worst hand, I guess.
well, exactly. It's just the start of a clinic from Gus Hansen. He's picked up the first pot, the 4-way pot with 3 high.
No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com.
I guess early on in these heats, when the pros don't really know about these footballers' games, they have to give them a wide berth, don't they?
Well, the pros are terrified of playing against the footballers because they're not quite sure what standard the footballers are playing at, so it can be very hard to put a guy in a hand.
Call.
And this is the beauty of this setup.
Cohen has won a pot and limps in the very next one with the ducks. And it looks like a little upscope from Hansen.
Raised to 5,000 total.
Just a little tickler.
Pass.
Serious enough tickler. 1 month.
Pass.
Jorgensen doesn't compete.
Pass.
And
You think that-
Call.
Claude has decided to take on Gus Hansen.
if he catches the deuce, he's going to be rewarded, you would imagine.
5, 10, ace.